Welcome to Grant Takes Pictures. I'm Grant, and I take pictures. We're here for another photo critique. Today it's a photo of the Salton Sea that I took in 2011. This is the first time I had ever gone out on a trip just to take photos. The Salton Sea is a fascinating area. The sea itself is a man-made lake created on accident in 1905 when irrigation levees they were using to irrigate the Imperial Valley broke and water from the Colorado River started flowing into this dry lake bed out in Imperial County. And over the next couple of years, they couldn't get this flood under control. So the lake grew and grew. Over the past 100 years, as water has continued to bring in more salt, silt, and pesticides into the sea, and that water then evaporates out, leaving behind an increasingly salty and toxic sea, has led to fish die-off and a lake that is just unfit for life. However, even as the water itself has become less hospitable to life, the sea has become an increasingly important link for migratory birds and other wildlife as they travel through Southern California, especially during the drought years we've seen over the past half decade or so. In addition to the ecological interests of the area, the Salton Sea also has an interesting past and relationship to Hollywood. During the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the Salton Sea was a resort community where Hollywood stars would come and relax. It was before air travel was common and popular. It was an easy drive from LA and Hollywood out to the Salton Sea. So there's all these old resorts that are now abandoned, some half covered in mud and salt, and it's just a fascinating place to go out and take pictures. So I was out there. I went out there in 2011 to go take pictures, and first let me tell you, the stench was awful. There were dead fish littering the beaches, especially at Bombay Beach, which was the popular resort area. But I went to go take pictures of these ruins, and I didn't get any great pictures. I was out there midday. Light was awful. But I got this one image that I have always loved. Now, this picture was taken on film. It was one of the last rolls of color film I ever shot. Unfortunately, I can't find the original negatives anymore, so I'm limited to this fairly low quality scan from the original negative, and that's unfortunate. I have a couple other pictures like that. There's a picture right up here on my wall actually from Mesa Verde National Park that was taken on film. I can't find that roll of negatives either. And my favorite picture that I've ever taken was also from Mesa Verde, taken on film. So unfortunately, I am limited to the quality of image I have, and it's a JPEG, not a raw file, so I wasn't able to do too much editing to it. However, this picture by itself, without any editing to speak of, I think is wonderful. There's a word in another language, maybe Icelandic or something like that, that means where the sky and the sea disappear together with no horizon line in sight. And that's what I would call this image if I could remember that word, but I can't. Because right here, you can just barely see the horizon. And that's one of the things I love about this image, the way the sky and the sea blend together in such a fine way. I also like, you can see just a few ripples of water down here, giving it a little bit of texture, but not too much. The sea isn't choppy, it's just fine waves rolling across the top of the water. And this branch, or whatever it is, coming out of the water, gives some interest to the foreground. If that wasn't there, if it was just the sky blending into the sea, blending into the beach, I don't think this would have been as interesting of an image. It would have been a little boring. Unfortunately, one of the things I don't like about this image is right here at the bottom along the beach. There's all these footsteps marring up the sand. I think it would have been a more interesting picture if those footsteps weren't distracting from the image. And I don't remember if those footsteps had been there before I got to the beach or if those are my footsteps. But you know, they very well could be. And I wish, if they were my footsteps, I wish I had paid a little bit more attention to what I was doing before I walked all over the beach and kind of messing up the composition that I ended up really loving. But like I said, this was back in 2011, one of the first times I went out specifically to take pictures of a place. So I wasn't quite thinking through what I was doing as well as I would today. But that is one of the few things in this composition that I think could have been done better. I do wish I still had these negatives somewhere. Unfortunately, they've been lost to time. If I still had them, I would try to get a higher quality scan so I could print this image just a little bit bigger. But the copy that I have will let me print it 8x10 just fine. And those prints are available on my website for sale. There's a limited edition run of 5 prints at that size. Please go check them out if you are interested in purchasing a copy of this print at granthenninger.com. Also, if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more of my photo critiques, and come with me as I try to become a better photographer and go out and take some pictures out in the wilderness. So thank you very much and have a great day.